Hello everyone, I'm Mrs. Surekha. Would like to come up with lectures to make you understand the very basic and fundamental concepts of the subject business economics and financial analysis. Learning and understanding of this subject will be of great use for individuals from different walks of life as it provides a solid foundation for well-informed decision making. In today's session, we will be covering the first topic of this subject, that is Introduction to Business Economics. Now, let us discuss about the first concept, that is understand what is the meaning of the term business. Meaning of the term business. The term business means busyness or the state of being busy. It is a continuous human activity which aims to earn profit by producing and buying and selling of goods and services to fulfill the needs of the customers. So, otherwise it can also be said as any human activity which aims at making profit is called business. Social services are not business activities because they are not profit-oriented activities. Now, when we are talking about the term activities, we are supposed to understand what is the meaning of an activity. So there are basically two different types of activities that we always refer in economics, that is economic activity as well as non-economic activities. Now, economic activities are those activities which are mainly conducted with the intention of earning profit, whereas non-economic activities are those activities which are conducted without any intention of earning profits out of it. For example, it can be a charity, or it can be a donation, or it can be a social service. So such kind of an activities cannot be termed as a business activities, right? Now, different authors define the term business in different ways. According to L.H. Honey, business may be defined as human activity directed towards producing or acquiring wealth through buying and selling of goods and services. Now, the next concept we are going to look into is the features of business, or the nature or characteristic features of a business. Now, these are the listed out 6 basic and fundamental characteristic features of the term business, that is existence of two parties, exchange of goods and services, deals in numerous transactions, risk and uncertainties, profit motive, and business skill for success. Now, first one, existence of two parties. Now, there should be two parties present in the process of exchanging goods and services, or in the process of conducting any business. The two parties to the business activity is buyer and the seller. One has to sell the commodities and the one has to buy the commodities, either goods or services. Now, next one is exchange of goods and services. So these exchange of goods and services will be done for the mutual benefits of both the customer as well as the producer. Now here, when we are talking about the goods and services, are two different types of purchases generally customer does, and these two are a very essential part of any economy, that is goods and services. Deals in number of numerous transactions. Now, as we said, as we have learned that business is nothing but a continuous activity taken up by a individual. Now, this continuity of taking up the activities leads to number of transactions or numerous transactions. So that process is nothing but business. Risk and uncertainties. Risks and uncertainties are part and parcel of any business activity, and these risks and uncertainties can be due to internal factors as well as from external factors. Now, internal factors and external factors, and these can be a predictable ones and unpredictable ones. Now predictable ones, for the predictable risk, there is every possibility for assessing that particular risk or analyzing it, as well as taking certain amount of measures so that the degree of risk will be minimized. Whereas unpredictable risk cannot be analyzed or visualized, and there will not be any scope of taking up any measures in order to counter that. So the losses that are incurred on account of unpredictable losses are a loss that has to be borne by the business firms. Next one is profit motive. So this business is generally done in order to earn profit, or the main objective or the main motive behind doing a business is to earn profits. So these profits are basically required for sustenance, expansion and diversification of its operations. Business skill for success. So every individual who is in the process of conducting the business should be very skillful enough in conducting his business activities, and he should always exhibit a dynamism, that is adapting to any challenges or any changes that may come in the process of doing his or taking up his activities or conducting his business. Now we'll look into the next concept, that is functions and activities of business. Basically, there are 4 types of functions or business activities taken up. One is production, next one is marketing, finance and HR. Now a quick insight into the respective activities conducted by these various functions delivered by the business. The production ones, they are basically deals with identifying the suitable methods of taking up the production activities, controlling the inputs and outputs, managing quality of the products, etc. Marketing, it aims, or its main objective or its main outlook is towards new product development, pricing, demand forecasting, finding new markets, advertising, or coming up with a captive advertising campaigns, distribution and meeting competition, etc. Finance, it's all about identifying the sources of the finance, raising finance, allocating and monitoring the finance, as well as reporting financial performance to the interested parties or the respective stakeholders. HR function, recruitment, selection, training, placement, appraisal, wage and salary administration, welfare activities, welfare facilities, framing rules and monitoring working conditions are the functions or the activities taken by HR department. Now coming to the next concept, that is economics. The term economics means study of wealth. How people raise finance, how they will use it to meet their needs comes under economics. It is also a science of making decisions in the presence of scarce resources. Now, making decisions in the scarce resources, there is a underlying thing here is always a individual or any person or any business concern will be having so many needs that have to be fulfilled. At the same time, the resources at his disposal will be very much meager or less or scarcely available. So under the presence of these scarce resources available, they need to take a decision to satisfy their number of needs or by prioritizing it. So coming to the next concept, that is there are 2 types of economics. Basically, one is microeconomics and another one is macroeconomics. In microeconomics, the area of study is small and limited. It considers the behavior of individual decision takers in allocating resources within the economy, such as individual households and firms. It is basically individualistic in nature. So the study would be theory of the firm or the objective of the firm, demand analysis for its products that are dealt by an individual firms, pricing of their commodities, individual markets, market structures in which they are going to place their products. Now, this limitations of this particular micro study is it always assumes that there will be a full employment, which is very unrealistic to happen, which is very unrealistic. Now, the next type of economics is macroeconomics. In macroeconomics, the scope of study is large. That is, it studies the behavior and performance of an economy as a whole. It focuses on aggregate changes in the economy such as unemployment, economic growth rate, national income, GDP, inflation, balance of payments, foreign exchange rates, as well as interest rates. Now, limitations of this macroeconomics is whatever is right for the aggregate may not be true for individuals. Because, for an example, let the growth rate of an economy is, let us assume it is 5%, right? So the aggregate 5% is not applicable for each and every individual which is a contributor to that particular economic growth, because every individual firm will be having its different level of contribution to the overall growth rate. So that becomes a limitation to the macroeconomic study. Now, coming to the term, what is business economics? It refers to the application of principles of economics to solve the managerial problems such as minimizing the cost and maximizing the profit. It helps the management in planning and decision making. Right? So, the definitions given by the economists Spencer and Sigelman. It is an integration of economic theory with business practices for the purpose of facilitating decision making and forward planning by management. According to Brigham, it is an application of economic theory and model to business administration practice. Features of business economics. It is closer to microeconomics because the focus is always on an individual firm. It considers macroeconomics also because business economics takes the help of macroeconomics to understand and adjust to the business environment. So it always functions in the backdrop of a macroeconomics. Prescriptive actions, that is, solutions that will be goal oriented and facilitates future and forward planning. Offers models, that is, this business economics will take the help of an economic models, that is transportation, assignment and linear programming, to find out the solutions for their various business related aspects. Offers scope to evaluate various alternatives, that is, there will be few alternatives can be drawn, out of which the best alternative can be taken up or selected for the purpose of implementation. Interdisciplinary in nature. It takes a linkage with other disciplines such as economics, mathematics, statistics, operations research, accountancy and psychology in conducting its business or taking the right amount of decisions or dealing with all the situations which arise in the process of conducting the business. Non-universal. So the decisions which are taken in a business firm with the help of using the economic concepts will not be suitable or applicable for the same problem in the other scenarios, right? Whereas economic concepts are universal nature, but business economic concepts solutions are not universal in nature. Application of business economics. The main areas of application are demand decisions, input-output decisions, pricing decisions, profit-related decisions, investment decisions, and economic forecasting and planning. Now, with this, we are going to end up this session for today. Thank you.